Okay, fixing to rob the bees. You'll notice I'm not using a smoker because the way the smoke calms them down is when you smoke them, they think their house is on fire and they fill up with honey. And you know, like you get after Thanksgiving, when they're full of honey, they get kind of lethargic. So last thing I want them to do when I'm going to rob them is to eat a bunch of honey. So I'm not going to do that. Now what I've got here is a top board that's got felt on it, and I'm going to squirt this stuff called Bego. And to them it smells really bad. To me it smells like Parmesan cheese, kind of. Smells like cheese. I'm going to squirt this all over this lid, put it on the top. Now this will drive the bees down. Give them a few minutes, and then I'll just pop this top off and take it and put it in the truck. And the same with this one. I'll leave the other three for them for the winter. Now, let's see if we can get this top off. Well, they have sealed it on there good. Whoa. They have really, really sealed it on there. Woo. Here they come. Look at this. That's a lot of bees. Yeah. I am absolutely full of bees. And they're pissed. They don't like this one bit. Now what I want to do is squirt, 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 squirt. Squirt the Bego, squirt the Bego. I don't smell anything. Yeah, I do. Okay. They don't seem to mind. Let's find out. Look at that. This bubble right there. Watch out, bro. Don't touch nobody. There we go. Now. Okay, we're going to take this last super off now. Famous last words. Let's take a look and make sure the bees are gone. Yep, pretty much. Got a few drones and a few babies. A few drones, but nothing to fuss much about. I gotta pry this loose, which might be easier said than done. Each of these big supers weighs about 60 pounds. Oh, there it comes. Now they'll glue these together with propolis, which is basically just tree sap, stuff like that. Wow. Okay. That's 60 pounds on my finger. There we go. Now. Okay. Put this lid on there. Keep any more from rubbing the back. There we go. And bingo. The bees are robbed. And now all I have to do is put the lid back on. And I'll use a little tool like this when I get to the honey house to brush any excess bees off of the frames. See how soft it is. It won't kill them, but it will get them off. It won't crush them. Next stop will be the honey house where we extract the honey. Got a little bit of excess beeswax up there. I want the lid to fit good, so we got to get rid of that. A little bit of wild comb here. Not much. My girls are a little mad at me. I don't blame them. I'd be mad too if I just got robbed. We don't beat around the bush. We call it robbing the bees because that's exactly what it is. We're stealing what isn't ours. Somebody else's work to build. But that's the only way to do it if you want honey. And I do want honey. There, now the lid ought to fit really good and snug. And then we bail. Okay, here we are in a very, very hot honey house. Fixing to extract the honey. Now this is a centrifugal extractor. There's a little basket down in here. I'll uncap the frames of honey, stick them in here. Whoops! And the belt will fly off. There we go. Come on. There we go. And it'll sling it around, sling the honey out into this barrel. And I'll filter it through this filter here. I'll also uncap them over this filter. I used a scratching, capping scratcher last year, couldn't find it, so I'm going to use this little, I've cleaned it, a little keyhole saw to kind of help facilitate. There's the honey. That's not even capped off in there really good. So there's a little shemale right there. And it's time to start uncapping. Now, you just kind of scratch these cappings off. It's going to be kind of a mess. That's why we have to do it out here. You do this in your house, you're going to have honey slung all over the walls, the floors, everything. Sorry girls, you're going to have to go. And then you just kind of uncap, uncap, uncap. Whoops. It's a little unwieldy, but what are you going to do, you know? There we go. So you got all the cappings off of here. And the cool thing is this uncapping buck will also strain. Yeah, there's some, I'll show you in a minute, there's some drone brood over here. They've started raising drones, which is most uncool, because drones are really useless. Drones are the boy bees, they don't really do anything. Once the queen has been inseminated, which happens as soon as she emerges from her cocoon, or whatever you want to call it, once she emerges, she goes and it's all the semen she'll ever need for an entire lifetime in a mating frenzy above the hive with the drones. And after that, drones are just a waste of good honey. Let's see here what we got. Oh, look at that. Looks like a little queen cell right here. See that little bugger right yonder? I do believe. Let me check and double check it here. I believe that's queen cell. I don't know. Kind of hard to say. But it looked like one. Queen cells look like a little peanut hanging off the frame there. Hard to see what I'm doing in this light. I hope it turns out in the movie. Hard to say. Just kind of got to scratch these cappings off. Yeah, I don't want to damage the comb too much because they're going to use it again next year. This also saves you a lot of time and increases your honey harvest when you can use the same comb year after year. Okay, there's the other side. Wipe it off. Flip. Now this side is completely full even though it's not capped off completely, which will save me a little bit of time. There we go. There's a little bit of, there we go. Alright, now, oh, this going to be in there. This will hold 4 frames at a time. That's some gorgeous honey right there now. Alright. Slowly but surely. Come over here. Of course, the ideal is to have an air-conditioned honey house so that you don't drip sweat into the honey
But being as Poe, not a wealthy man at all, this will have to do. One more frame, and then we'll extract it. Now this one is kind of concave. You'll notice that they didn't finish drawing this out. They didn't draw it out here in the corners. It's flat foundation. You can see it. They finished drawing. They drew out most of it, but they didn't cap any of it on this side. But it is full of honey, so they just didn't have the time or the wherewithal to cap it yet. Not a problem. And this side is, my goodness, it is loaded. Yeah, don't want to mangle this too bad. Okay, there's that. And this side ain't going to take too much uncapping because, frankly, it didn't get capped. So, let's set our little uncapping tool right here. Drop this bad boy in here. See that good honey dripping burr. And it's filtered several times. Now, the trick is, of course, to make this thing mad. Now, I'm going to spin these around, and then after I've spun it all out of one side, I'm going to flip them over and spin it out of the other. And if I run the extractor too fast, like on this big wheel here, it'll bow the foundation, it'll bow those frames, and I don't want to do that, so I'm hoping this will do it. Here we go. Now occasionally I'll have to poke a screwdriver through here because there'll be a little bit of like beeswax and whatnot that'll plug this, it's called a honey gate. It'll plug it up, so I'll have to poke a stick or a screwdriver or something through there every now and again to kind of help it. Now let's have a look here and see if we are in need of more spinning. Cut it out. There we go. Nope, that side looks pretty good. Let's flip. One. It's a little bit bowed as it is. Two. Come on, get in there. Alrighty. And three. Ooh, this one bowed out bad. Okay, I'm going to have to slow this down a little bit. Yeah, because it's bowing them out. Alright, come on. There you go. Come on. That's right. There you go. Now the belt will slip off, but I don't care that much about that because, frankly, I can put it back on a lot easier and I can repair these frames. Okay, so that's the one I just did. Okay, did this one too. Oh yes, here's the broke one. Okay. Well, this one's totally screwed, but that's all right. And each life a little rain must fall. Come on. There you go. Flip you over. Now, I'll have to let the extractor run a little longer to be sure and get everything, but at least I won't be destroying my frames anymore. I might not be doing much of anything.